If you've ever wondered why some gardens seem to thrive effortlessly while others struggle no matter how much compost, fertilizer, or care you add, the answer may already be under your feet. Beneath the soil surface exists a living network so powerful that scientists often compare it to the internet. This is the world of mycorrhizal fungi, and once you understand how it works, it will completely change the way you garden. Here on Soilpower, we focus on building real soil strength, not just feeding plants from the top down. Mycorrhizal fungi are one of the most important and most overlooked keys to that mission. Whether you're just starting your gardening journey or you've been growing for years, mastering this underground partnership can take your soil and harvest to another level. What mycorrhizal fungi really are, and why they matter. Mycorrhizal fungi are beneficial soil fungi that form a symbiotic relationship with plant roots. The word mycorrhiza literally means fungus root. Once attached to a plant, these fungi extend far beyond the root zone, sending out microscopic threads called hyphae that explore the soil in every direction. In exchange for sugars produced by the plant through photosynthesis, the fungi act as an extension of the root system. They gather water and nutrients that roots alone cannot reach, especially phosphorus, zinc, copper, and trace minerals. This partnership has existed for over 400 million years. In nature, most plants evolved with mycorrhizae, not without them. You know, when you garden without supporting these fungi, you're essentially asking plants to grow with one hand tied behind their back. The underground network is really nature's original internet. One of the most fascinating aspects of mycorrhizal fungi is how they connect plants together. A single fungal network can link dozens of plants, sometimes even different species. And through this network, nutrients, water, and chemical signals move from plant to plant. If one plant is attacked by pests, warning signals can actually travel through the fungal web, triggering neighboring plants to strengthen their defenses. In times of stress, stronger plants can even share resources with weaker ones. This isn't just gardening theories, it's pagwundo. Chain DG. Bisnigay gyain kain wo or now. Wine drying gutsus dow. When we talk about building resilient gardens, this underground communication system is honestly one of the main reasons living soils outperform sterile ones year after year. Here's the hard truth many gardeners never hear. Common gardening practices often damage or completely break mycorrhizal networks. Excessive tilling physically tears fungal threads apart. Synthetic fertilizers, especially high phosphorus ones, discourage plants from forming fungal partnerships, and soil left bare under the sun dries out fungi and starves them of organic matter. In other words, many quick-fix solutions, actually weaken the very system that makes soil powerful long-term. If you've been gardening for years and still feel like your soil never really improves, this may be why. The real benefits you'll see in your garden, well, they're honestly pretty remarkable. When mycorrhizal fungi are active and supported, the changes in your garden are not subtle. Plants establish faster after transplanting because their effective root system becomes much larger almost immediately. Water efficiency improves, which is critical in hot or dry climates. You'll notice deeper green growth without relying heavily on fertilizers. Disease resistance also improves. Mycorrhizae help protect roots by occupying space that harmful pathogens would otherwise attack. Some fungi even release compounds that suppress root diseases. Perhaps most importantly, soil structure improves over time. Fungal hyphae help bind soil particles into stable aggregates, improving aeration, drainage, and carbon storage. This is real soil building, not just temporary feeding. So, let's talk about the different types of mycorrhizae and what your garden really needs. Not all mycorrhizal fungi are the same, In gardens, the most important type is called arbuscular mycorrhizal fungi, or AMF for short. These fungi actually associate with most vegetables, fruits, flowers, and grasses. Crops like tomatoes, peppers, maize, beans, squash, and honestly, most trees benefit heavily from them. Now some plants, such as members of the cabbage family, like broccoli, kale, and cauliflower, do not form mycorrhizal relationships, but this doesn't mean fungi are useless in those beds. What it does mean is that crop rotation and diversity are really essential to maintain healthy fungal populations in your soil. So, understanding all this helps you plan smarter garden layouts that support soil life year-round. It's a simple step, but it can make a big difference in your garden's health and productivity. So, how do you encourage mycorrhizal fungi naturally? Well, the good news is you don't need expensive products to build fungal networks. Nature already knows how to do this. Honestly, the most important step is reducing disturbance. Try to minimize tilling and digging whenever possible. Just let those fungal networks remain intact between seasons. Feeding the soil is just as important as feeding your plants. Compost, leaf mold, and organic mulches provide the carbon fungi need to survive. And, keeping soil covered protects moisture levels and temperature, which fungi really depend on. Diversity is another major factor. Growing a variety of plants encourages a wider and stronger fungal community. Monocultures over time weaken soil life, while mixed plantings strengthen it. If your soil is severely degraded or newly built, high-quality mycorrhizal inoculants can help jumpstart the process. Just apply them directly to roots during transplanting for best results. But remember, inoculants only work if the soil environment supports fungal life afterward. Watering and fertilizing with fungi in mind, well, it really matters. How you water and fertilize can either support or sabotage mycorrhizae. Deep, infrequent watering encourages roots and fungi to explore deeper soil layers. On the other hand, constant shallow watering keeps roots lazy and fungal growth limited. When it comes to fertility, less is often more. Overloading soil with synthetic nutrients tells plants they don't need fungal partners. Organic amendments, slow-release nutrients, and compost teas work with fungi instead of replacing them. Once you see how much fungi can do, you'll realize that your role as a gardener shifts from feeding plants to supporting soil life. It's a pretty big change, but it makes a huge difference. A shift in mindset, gardening from the soil up. The mycorrhizal revolution isn't about adding one more product to your routine. It's about changing how you see your garden. Healthy plants are not the starting point. Healthy soil is. And healthy soil is alive, connected, and cooperative. When you stop fighting nature and start partnering with it, gardening becomes easier, more resilient, and honestly, way more rewarding. This is the kind of long-term soil power that builds itself stronger each season instead of wearing out. Final thoughts from Soilpower. If there's one takeaway from this, it's this. Every time you protect and feed your soil, you are investing in an underground workforce that never stops working for you. Mycorrhizal fungi don't just help this season's crop. They build a foundation that benefits your garden for years. If you found this article helpful and want more deep, practical insights into soil health, regenerative gardening, and real-world growing strategies, make sure to subscribe to the Soilpower YouTube channel, and hey, share this with a fellow gardener who's tired of chasing quick fixes and ready to build soil that truly lasts. The revolution is already under your feet, you just have to let it grow.